What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast, celebrating 7 years of podcasting. This is episode 596, making our way up to 600. I am your host, Steve V. Alongside, holding down the fort with me, Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. We're so close to 600. That's wild.
It is, and I didn't even think that was a huge deal until our co-host Lincoln pointed it out. And it is. I think when you really think about it that way, I'm so used to putting these episodes out that it's like, yep, another episode, let's go. And I put my heart and soul into every one of them, y'all. But I think that it is, I guess, monumental. Yeah. Is there something significant about 600, or is it just an even number that's on our way to 1,000?
Right? Because that 1,000, well, 700 is probably next, but that's a lot. And I think that 600 is not probably significant unless you're turning 600, like me. But yeah, I think that it's going to be it's going to be a monumental thing. Hopefully we can do something special for our fabulous listeners out there.
We have something planned that's going to be a lot of fun for you all.
Cute.
I mean, it's 7 years of podcasting, and, you know, in marriage, the 7-year itch, which is often referred to as a negative thing. Yeah, right? Like, oh, we're in that phase. I think we're stronger than ever. For us, 7 years. And if you know anything about podcasting, you're constantly tweaking, and we see you YouTubers. By the way, we are available on YouTube. I know many of you get our show on Apple Podcasts. You get it on Spotify and plenty of other sources. But we see you YouTubers because a lot of you have been writing into us. And it's kind of cool because our Wednesday show comes in as an audio podcast, but also as a video podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Too. And
love it.
We just had a listener who was like, I didn't know you guys do video too. It's like, yeah, we do a live video show on Wednesday nights on the Crowdcast platform. For those, we get a nice pooling of live listeners, but...
And sometimes you can see my tits, okay?
Yes, we were joking around with Kodi because he's given us some T&A. Yes. And so, very cool. So check out our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/TAGSPodcast. Oh my gosh, Labor Day just happened, and it's kind of the point when, is summer over? It's not, though. We still got a couple of weeks, but I guess the question to you is, Kodi, since we're holding down the fort and all of our other co-hosts are off on an island soaking up some sun, but
those bitches.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We got a glass of wine, so we're okay. But do you look at the fall as a time to renew, and what are some of your projections, or it's just another day?
You know what? The fall is kind of not my thing. So I'm here for eternal summer. I want to go in the fall, I want to go to like places where there is sunshine and beach and there's warm weather. But the fall is a time to reassess and look at your life and where you want to go. And right after summer, that's when you have to go and find your true path because you've been wild and crazy for 3 months. So now is the time to get out there and see where you want to go in life and get to it. Just like Whoopi Goldberg said in Sister Act 2. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
It's back to school. It's demure, apparently.
It's demure.
All the kids are talking
fall.
about demure. Yeah, I mean, I love the fall. I'm kind of a fall baby.
Really?
I wasn't born in the fall, but I just feel like I am. I love the summer, too, but I just got back from Puerto Vallarta where it was hot as fuck. And I had such a great time. I really do feel like that's my second home away from home. I didn't go out at all.
You didn't go out one time?
No.
Wow.
The thing is, we have so much to do with this condo. I'm with my sister and my best friend. We're taking care of business. Believe me, at a certain time in the night, we are having our margarita. We are on the rooftop. We are in the pool. We're seeing friends that we have met there, and that's all really great. And we're going to restaurants and having some of the best cuisine and food, especially where we're at in Versailles. I know you were there before, and it's great.
The food is great.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I think because of the heat, I'm still working out and all. I'm much tired earlier, and when I go to sleep, I'm like, it's like zonks.
Snoring and everything.
I'm up earlier there. It's kind of cool though. Before I left, I was having a hot fun girl brat summer moment before we left, and then I'm back here. It's we finished Labor Day weekend. I had fun. My boyfriend picked me up at the airport. We went out last night, which was super fun, at a party here in New York City called Battle Hymn.
Yeah, fun times.
So
I love Battle Hymn.
Yeah, and I think for me, the fall is to continue. There's so much stuff with the show that we are. Anybody that knows a podcast, you're tweaking. There's so much to really get into, and fall's a really good time to put your senses towards that. I'm also going to be traveling some more. But I'm also looking forward to, they say in a new relationship, you need to know that new person in winter, spring, summer, and fall. Oh. And we got together. Well, it is my quote. It's my sister's quote. She really believes that you need to see how you're going to be with somebody in the seasons. And I've always been a firm believer of that. So we've known each other a year and a half. We got together in the spring. Mm-hmm. It was lovely. We spent the summer, a good portion of the summer together. If you remember, we went away to upstate New York, more hiking. Come fall, I'm looking forward to what that will look like. Now for him, he's all about the cold. Hiking season is really when it kicks in for him. And so if I want to, I love it though. Unfortunately, I'm into hiking. And so.
In the cold though?
Yeah, just not the rain. Remember the rain?
Yeah, the rain is the worst.
Yeah.
I can't do the cold either, really.
And maybe we'll do some fun things for my OnlyFans Just for Fans, where he's agreed to be a part of.
Oh, he's signed off?
He's signed off on. Like, he has great feet. Okay. And I love feet. I've said on this show.
Foot worship type.
Maybe. Stuff. I don't know if we're going to do that while we're hiking, though. That would make me a little bit weird. But he agreed to at least be a part of it, like the feet worship. We're not going to show his face, but yeah. So that's kind of cool. I think you should do it after
hiking, because I think that
they're ripe and ready.
It. Exactly. And you can let the people know that this is a foot worship after a long hike type deal. And if you want the socks, we'll sell them to you.
Oh, he's thrown when he's left me in the middle of the night, because he has to, you can't park in this area where I live in New York, so he has to go home sometimes at night if we've been out.
Yeah.
And one time he threw his socks on the bed at my face. But I was all for it. I was like, oh.
Very hot.
Yeah, I know.
I'm here for any sweaty things. I have jock straps for sale if anybody wants
one. There you go. Let us know what your fall projections are. You can always reach out to us. We'll give our handlers at the end of the show. You can also go to TAGSPodcast.com. By the way, you can also, we put out a weekly newsletter on what's going on. I send out a nice little short email on the latest what's going on. You can subscribe to us by going to TAGSPodcast.com and subscribe, and you'll get our weekly update on what we are doing. We'll give more on that later. Okay, well, we got to get into hot topics today, and we all remember the infamous movie by Ang Lee, Brokeback Mountain, which was such a great movie in 2005. The two actors of the time were, what are the two actors?
Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Thank you so much.
And you know what? I am the pop culture fashionista, aficionado.
You really are. And, I love that movie. By the way, did you not just cry your eyes off when you saw it? Was it one of your favorite movies at the time when...
I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it maybe 10 years after it came out, and I didn't cry that much. I thought it was a great, beautiful movie, but I don't know, it didn't touch me in that way.
Really? Oh, it really did for me, because I just think these were so stalwart characters that were hiding, like many of us do, our true feelings for somebody, and then you meet somebody that just you connect with, but it's not right. It's not accepted by culture. in that time, it certainly wasn't. And you're fighting it. And there's a certain point that it just builds.
Yeah.
And it's like an amazing cum shot. But it's
right on the face.
Kinda. And you end up, and so, but it was a beautiful love story, I think, for so many people. And I just love it. I don't know that I could watch it that often because it's a tearjerker for sure.
I didn't cry at all. That's really shocking to me. You know what? Maybe I need to give it another watch because I feel like people they get really gripped by it and it really touches them in that way. And I didn't experience it that.
Maybe it was too white for you. Oh. Maybe if we had, who's that?
No, I gotta go.
Maybe if it had, who's that guy that you're always talking about who's like a host of a game show? He's black and you're always into him. He came out as bisexual.
Oh,
or not bisexual.
Wayne Brady?
Pansexual.
My man, Wayne Brady. I love him.
Maybe it was Wayne Brady.
Maybe if it was Wayne Brady and Lil Nas X, then I would be into it.
Okay.
No, that's not true. I associate with plenty of people, skin colors across the board. I loved Crazy Rich Asians. I thought that was a beautiful movie. I don't know. I feel like I'm digging my hole deeper and deeper, and that I should just stop talking right now.
Deeper and deeper. Well, why are we talking about this film that's been out since 2005? Because it just came out, and secrets come out as the years goes on. And Mark Wahlberg, of all people, revealed in a recent interview that Ang Lee had met with him for Brokeback Mountain, and he admitted being, quote unquote, a little creeped out by the script. We know what that means, creeped out by the gay sex. It was very graphic, he said, descriptive. The spitting on the hand, getting ready to do the thing, was all things, and he should have never talked about this recently because he's had a history. I just watched the current film with Mark Wahlberg and my girl Halle Berry, I love Halle, so I have to watch everything she does. I like Mark Wahlberg, but I think that it is what it is. But the gays aren't really happy with him because he's had a history of, in the way past, of being racist, beating up a Vietnamese kid when he was with his friends, also slurs, using the N-word at times. He's also, I don't know about more homophobia other than this, but
I know it's up. No, nope.
But most people on Twitter were coming for him and saying, thank God he didn't play this role, because I think the two actors that they got, Jake and Heath, were
perfect.
Yeah.
They really were. And I can, even though it didn't touch me in that way that I really associated with them, I know in my heart and soul that Heath and Jake were the perfect actors for that. So I'm going to give it a rewatch. Mark Wahlberg can continue to star in more films with Halle Berry, and that is the only way I will watch him.
Did you watch that yet?
I watched it. I enjoy her. It's not something that I would give a rewatch like Brokeback Mountain.
No.
But
it's a summer action film. They allude to a second, it could go on, but
and if Holly is in
badass.
It, I'll watch it. Yeah, Holly is amazing.
Yeah.
I adore her. Mark Wahlberg, he's done too much for me to really support him in his career, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we want to know what you think on that. But somebody that we really love, Ricky Martin, who sent the sweetest message of love to a newly out Latin pop star, Johann Vera, released a new song about coming out, and a certain Ricky Martin encouraged words for him. And Ricky Martin showed love and support to Latin pop star after he just came out, Johann Vera. Johann first appeared on The X Factor in Colombia as a preteen, and then was a later contestant, and then was later on Ricky Martin and Simon Cowell's Spanish language music competition, La Banda. Did you know about that show?
No.
Yeah. He released a new song about his sexuality. Vera, who's 28, is known for songs like Donde Nací, Vuelo a Paris, and Ostronauta, and has also appeared on several TV shows. And with his new song, Closet, he is opening up about his sexuality for the first time. They look so cute together here in this picture that I'm showing you. Both of them are just adorable. After releasing the song, Vera was surprised on the Univision morning show Despierta America with a special video message from the king of Latin pop, Ricky Martin. Quote unquote, from the first moment we saw you in La Banda, we knew that you had a lot of talent and you were very special. A lot of success, a lot of focus, a lot of light, and a lot of peace above all. I think it is extremely important that you are mentally well in your heart to be able to achieve many things. He said, I think you are on the right path. Just surround yourself with positive people. A lot of light for you, a lot of success, a lot of strength, a lot of blessings, and a lot of success in everything you strive for. Lots of love and always lots of light, lots of strength moving forward, brother. All of the best. Hugs. Ricky just seems like such a soulful person. Whenever you watch him in his interviews, he speaks from the heart, I think. I mean, he is... You also know he's down and dirty, too. He has embraced divorce. He has embraced having kids. He's embraced his sexuality over the years when he was outed on ABC. He really just is in his stride right now. He's an actor. He is the king of Latin pop. And I think that to get those words had to mean something to another out Latin pop star. What do you think, Kodi?
Look, if Ricky Martin came to me and had those words to say about me, I would be through the roof, over the moon, because I think that his word, and because of the things that he's been through and because of the music that he's made and how he has become so authentic in his entire world and his career, I think that if he gave me that stamp of approval, I would be so ecstatic. So I'm happy for this. I would watch their OnlyFans because they're both so incredibly beautiful. And I think this is just great. So I got to go give a listen to this new artist.
Vera revealed that he wrote the song 2 years ago after a psychologist asked him to write a letter to his younger self. Quote, I always thought these things didn't need to be discussed publicly. Now that I look back, I was afraid to accept myself and put forward what was known, but I hid, he wrote. We started writing a love song, and the 3 straight writers started giving me ideas of that girl, that woman, and I said yes to everything, even though I wasn't connecting with it inside. Although I love women too, at that time I was in love with a man. And then he explained that he just couldn't take it anymore. He walked out. When he came back, he opened up about his feelings and said the song was written in just minutes. It ended up being the least difficult song to write. That's when you know things are really real. And good for him. I want to hear this song now. I'm really excited. I love newer Latin artists. Johann Vera is his name.
Johann Vera, thank you. Because I was going to ask you.
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's put him on our radar.
Oh, for sure.
Because really cool. And to get the king of Latin pop's approval is really beautiful. Yeah. I think that's what it's all about. I've heard Ricky talk about, too. It's about handing down the baton and paving the way for those that maybe you didn't have it so easy then, but you can do that. We do this on our show, too. I mean, I came out in the early 90s, and if we could offer just a little bit of to younger youth coming out, that's great.
Oh, yeah. Ricky has definitely made strides in the industry for everybody else to have an easier road to walk, fortunately.
Switching gears here, we have to talk about Brazil, a place I love, but I haven't been to in a while, with a string of murders of gay men targeted through dating apps. And the LGBTQ plus community in Brazil has been shaken by a series of murders and armed robberies of gay men who met their assailants through dating apps. At least 5 have been killed since March, and dozens more have been reported being victims of armed robberies. One of the latest victims was Leo Nunez, a 24-year-old who had been exchanging messages with a man he met on the dating app Hornet. And they arranged to meet in person in Sao Paulo on June 12th, which is also Lover's Day in Brazil. Oh, wow. But a security camera captured the moment that the 2 men on a motorcycle showed up in the alley where Nunez was waiting, grabbing his phone and shot him dead.
Wow.
Brazil has as we know, a large, huge LGBTQ plus population, but many fear mistreatment by police, making them targets for criminals. Because of structural homophobia, criminals know that LGBT people are vulnerable. They know they will be more easily intimidated. This is very disheartening, and I love Brazil. I haven't been in several years. I've heard that, like many places, I'm from the Bay Area, San Francisco has just seen its share of a lot going on. It's not the city that I lived in the 90s. It's still a beautiful city. But Brazil has also been seeing a lot of crime waves. I've heard it's still, we need to be supporting it and showing our love and going there. But I think you also got to be careful too. And it's no different from what we talk about in America, where people target people on the apps. Yeah. And if we're going to continue with using the apps, which I think we are, we just need to be a little bit more on high alert. How do we do that? Well, one of the ways we've talked about on this show before is you can at least GPS your friends as to where you're at. You can also not meet people in strange places that you don't know. And if you're in a high alert zone, AKA the big city, I say if somebody doesn't want to meet you in a local bar or cafe, then don't meet them.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be the next victim for a stupid mistake. And I know we like to have a lot of risky decisions and behaviors because it makes it that much more exciting. But we also don't want to be on the next, a CSI episode.
News cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I have found that sometimes that these decisions are very difficult to make because there are so many factors that want to skew your viewpoint and to where you make the not most wisest decisions, unfortunately. So it's really all about taking stock of what's going on, actually stepping back from where you are and your horniness, basically, because that's what I'm talking about, and making the decision that will best afford you a life, because all of these could probably have been avoided if they would have taken a step back and done the most safe thing, unfortunately. So I think that this is something that is it's really sad, honestly, and my heart goes out to the families and to everybody that this has touched, because it's not necessary. And if I was in Brazil at this moment, I would make this my most paramount, my safety, my most paramount ideal that I would hold on to.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds easier said than done, like you
totally
stated.
Is.
But I think we all have to face certain things. If we're going to, like I said, apps are not going away.
Yeah.
But crime to our community is also not going away.
Mm-hmm.
You can still meet people on these apps, but find different routes to meet them in person, and don't meet them in strange places alone. Meet them in public. If somebody doesn't want to meet you and they're really into you, challenge them on that. Why not? And then don't meet them, because there's somebody that will. Yeah. And don't trust that that's their image and that you have to have that right now.
And I think that something that will really help people to make the best decision for them is that if you hold that this could possibly be something dangerous to you in the back of your mind, then you will make the decision to make yourself the safest as possible. So always err on the side of safety.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about gym culture lately, and we promised that we'd be talking about the part 2 of this from Tags Live, episode 595. On that episode, we were talking about muscles. Author in the New York Times wrote about, guess what? Gay guys are obsessed with muscles. And we're like, duh, and we knew that. And it's a good article about the history of muscles and why perhaps gay men have been obsessed or infatuated throughout the years. We won't bore you with that right now, because you can listen to that. I also have the article up on TAGSPodcast.com, reference episode 595. But we thought we'd keep it going because Kodi and I work out and are gym bunnies, if you will. And this one was entitled What It's Really Like to Be Gay at the Gym, according to Queer Workout Bros. And we thought it was interesting because in the pre-Stonewall era, sex-generated fitness clubs could be spaces of, sexual and social discovery for LGBTQ people, prohibited from openly socializing everywhere. This article was interesting because it asked the question, what it's really like for queer people in the gym. And I'm going to read you a few things, and then you let me know if any of this resonates with you. Being gay at the gym is a whole-ass theater performance of giving side-eye and trying to figure out who else is a gay. That one resonates with me.
Oh, for sure.
I was just in Puerto Vallarta with my friend. We date my ex-boyfriend, actually, but we're friends now. And it's kind of cool to be friends with somebody that we dated a long time ago. We traveled to Europe, and now we're just in a really good space. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
I've never had that happen to me.
No?
No.
Oh, it's really fun because you know each other's quirks and everything. He's a really fun guy. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he was joking around with me about my new boyfriend and saying, "Oh, I see we're moving down the Latin spectrum." But
oh, wow.
I was like, "Okay, no." But we were at the gym, and I was asking him about. He got me into his gym, which was a really nice gym. It was really had everything you wanted. And I said, "Is there any gays at this gym?" And he's like, "Oh, please, yes,
plenty."
And he says, "I have like 8 gym crushes in this gym," and we all, I think, have many gym crushes. I know I have some at my current. I've talked about how I work at my gym in this building, and there's no gym crushes to be had there for the most part. There's a couple.
I'm the gym crush in this building. Okay.
When you're here, you are. There's a couple straight guys that I have befriended, and I've had gym crushes on them for sure. It's just a thing. It's harmless. It's a whole thing. Somebody else wrote, being gay at the gym and knowing if you look in the direction of the girl in spandex doing squats, she's going to think you're a creep staring at her. Because we're probably not staring at her for the reasons she thinks.
I think when I see a woman at the gym and she has a beautiful body, I definitely appreciate her body. So maybe I am looking at her and being a creep. So
I think I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And we got to stop that.
No, wait. But I'm not trying to sexualize her.
I'm not either, but they might think we are, and that's probably where this was coming from.
Maybe there's a line, and that we need to not cross.
A couple more, and we'll discuss. I can't tell if this muscle gay at the gym is ignoring me because he thinks I'm hot or thinks I'm ugly, or he's insecure, or I fucked his friend and stopped answering his calls, or ...
There it is.
We all look at somebody, and then the ones that you're looking at don't give you the time or day, and you can't tell, are they ignoring me or are they really ignoring me?
Right.
Like they have zero interest, and you just can't tell. And the little games we play, somebody says, being gay at the gym is so hard because are you tatted and ripped because you're fruity, or are you just tatted and ripped? Also, your nails short because you gym, or is it because you know what I mean?
Right?
Fisting? What? Mine are short and... Yeah.
You know what? I heard a weird fisting story last night. But anyway.
Tell me.
Really? You want to know? It's kind of wild, though, Steve. You really want to know?
We are a sex podcast.
Blood is involved. So.
Okay, go.
So, somebody that I was out last night with, so they'll probably listen to the podcast right now. They were saying that they were in they were fisting somebody, and they pulled their hand out, and they had blood all over it. So they went into the bathroom, and I guess they washed their hands off, and then the other person thought that they weren't interested in fisting them anymore, so they got offended and they left. So yeah, don't always assume that it's because you're there. The person is offended that they don't want to fist you anymore.
Yeah, and I've been fisted before.
Okay.
I've talked about it on this show. It's a whole thing. You need plenty and plenty of lube, and you can't go in
gotta take your time
to someone's region forcefully, and somebody that wants to get fisted should also have dilated that area because it's a very tears can happen all the time, and we don't want that person that is getting fisted to have a tear that could lead to other things like fissures, and we don't want to scare anybody. But where, without knowing too much about the story, where was this happening at
I think it was a sex party.
Yeah, and I just think you can still have a little bit of blood just because you can have it fucking somebody.
Yeah.
And
I've had that happen to me.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that it's leading to a potential upcoming problem that the person's going to have getting it. It just can mean there is a slight tear that happens. We have to just remember that it's a region that is very sensitive, and lube, slow, check in with your partner. Yep. And if something does happen, or even an issue does happen, these are real things that happen. Don't freak out on the person and make them feel awful for it. Please, tops and dominants, know that this could happen.
Oh yeah, and it happens frequently. But I don't think this person
doesn't have to. But
I think that them walking away triggered the person that was getting fisted into thinking that they weren't interested. Oh yeah, we can have them on the show and they can talk more about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Then let's discuss more. But back to gym culture. I'll read one more, and then I want to hear your gym culture. My mental map of who else is gay at the gym is so funny because many of them I don't even know. I just seen them talk to someone once that had said hello to a specific person some other time. It's that whole bar culture-ish. And what's your gym experience? And do you relate to any of these comments of, I guess, the anxiety that many of us have in this culture?
Yeah, I love being gay at the gym. I have totally let go of the feeling that people are uncomfortable by me kind of quote unquote checking them out at the gym, because at the end of the day, I feel like I go to the gym and I look at other people to get inspired to work out more. I don't necessarily go and think I want to fuck somebody at the gym, even though sometimes that does happen.
Oh, yeah.
But I think when I'm looking at somebody, I'm getting more inspired to have a good workout, to make my body the best that it can be. And I think that is, it's something to aspire to, honestly. I have been in situations where I have been on Grindr at the gym, and they've been in the gym with me, and they've come up to me and said hello, and we have vibed. And I think that is something that being gay at the gym, that's the experience that we get as gay people, fortunately.
And was it a good experience?
Oh, yeah. I think that we chatted. This happened recently. So his Grindr profile and him in person, it didn't align, unfortunately.
That's okay.
And it's perfectly fine. He was really hot on Grindr. And in person, it was a little less my type, personally.
Were there filters being used?
Oh, bitch, you tried. I use filters, and I love them. And I think that they enhance my beauty, darling. Okay? I love a good filter. But I do think that...
people are going to meet the artist, the person at some point.
You are really digging today. And I am okay with it. And you know what? I'm going to look just as stunning in person as I am with my filtered picture, darling. Because you know what? My point is to not... My goal is to not go overboard with the filter. So that's... but that's where I lie.
Your point also of the story was that it was a positive experience.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this in a meeting recently when we were originally going to do this topic on part 1, episode 595, where I was telling my same friend, my ex-boyfriend, we're at that point now where I'm telling him about my boyfriend, and I was like, so what about you, and who you dating, or who you fucking? And that's kind of cool to be with an ex. And he pointed out a guy at his gym that he had met or talked to on Grindr. Uh-huh. And I was like, oh, he's like, yeah. And the guy reached out to him on Grindr, and my friend reminded him that, oh yeah, I let you work in on the other day or earlier today on this piece of equipment. And the guy was like, oh, okay, can you send me your picture? And I don't know if my friend didn't have his full picture or he wanted nudes or what that actually entailed, but my friend reminded him who he was, I think sent a picture, and then that was it. Now, mind you, my friend, my ex, is really sexy, really good looking, but whatever, maybe, I don't know if there was silence because he wasn't into it or whatever, but my friend was like, seriously, I wasn't really into you that much either, but you reached out to me and we're going to see each other. And isn't there something to do with kindness where we don't all have to fuck, but we're going to see each other at the gym, and we could also just be friends, is what my friend's point was. Yeah. And I like that point too. Now, because he ghosted him after he asked for the picture, my friend sent it, and then nothing, silence. Wow. So what did my friend do? He's like, well, I blocked him because, of course, I got nothing out of him. And I said, well, what happens now when you see him at the gym? He's like, well, stupidly, we're going to ignore each other. And that's just dumb. We could have been friends. And by the way, my friend is very well known in Puerto Vallarta. I mean, he's just like got that personality. And you would want him, if nothing else, as an acquaintance, because he knows everybody and he's a lot of fun and he has an amazing sense of humor. This would be somebody that you would want just to be surrounded by you. And to do, I just think, unlike your story, which was really a positive one, guys, don't do that. When somebody reaches out to you, just be polite. And if somebody's, haunting you or stalking you, then we have a problem. But if it's like you just met somebody, you recognize somebody from the gym, don't think that if you're not that interested, they could still be an ally. You're going to see them at the gym.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because I wasn't really attracted to this guy, but at the end of the day, he had a fantastic personality, and I feel like we could really vibe and we could be friends. So hopefully I made a new friend, and I should just leave it at that. Now, that being said, I have had negative experiences with being gay at the gym. Me being gay and the other person being gay as well. I would see this person at the gym constantly, and it would be fine. We would be cordial to one another. But I guess maybe I was on my phone for too long. Don't say one word. Zipped. Perfect. So I was on a machine, and maybe I was taking longer than they would have liked me to take. And they came up to me, and they were incredibly rude to me, asking me when I was going to get off of the machine.
But you're in the middle of it.
Exactly. And first of all, I don't take a long time on any machine. So I was in the middle of my set. Maybe I was taking a rest between sets, and I was on my phone just scrolling a little bit, because that's what you do when you're at the gym and you're in between sets. So I'm
giving you side eye, but
and that's perfectly fine. Now when I see this person, because I've stopped going to that gym and I've gone to a new one, and they followed me to this new gym, basically. And whenever I see them, I completely ignore them. And if I saw them out, because they are very well known in this industry, I feel like
Who cares? You're well known.
Thank you. I feel like I would completely ignore them if I saw them out in the world.
Yeah, I agree. It's
unfortunate, and it's not necessary.
It's definitely not necessary. I mean, I have been working out in my building for so long, and now I've joined a gym here in New York. And it's at first I realized, people aren't as friendly as maybe I was hoping. But honestly, now I've gotten into a rhythm there. I find I have my gym crushes, and I'm enjoying it. I see a couple people once in a while that I recognize and I'll talk to, but in general, it is what it is. I'm enjoying it. I was just in Puerto Vallarta at another gym other than the one I was just mentioning that's kind of like a more straight bodybuilding gym. Okay. And I kind of am in there just to get in, get out is kind of my MO right now. And I don't know. I appreciate all of it, but it is funny. I don't think I don't know. Maybe there is something for me in my 50s where I let a lot of insecurities go. Like,
Okay.
I, of course, have them, but not as much as I used to, which I had a lot. And I think now it's just like, I am here, and yeah, it's just, I'm in a different mindset. So I can navigate this and not feel insecurities or even gym crushes where I could really linger on guys to a point of like, oh, it was painful how much I was lusting after.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think it's because now I have a boyfriend and he's not, I love him so much and I'm so turned on by him, but of course no one could ever be every single fantasy. And he and I talk about, we masturbate and porn and stuff like that because nobody could ever be every single fantasy in your mind ever. But I think because he calms my mind down a little bit about my sex obsession with those that I met. Now I'm much more calm, like, yep, he's hot. I recognize he's hot. I can process it now, and I can move it out of my system now because I know I have somebody that really checks so many boxes. But I can still be turned on. Believe me, I turn on my porn. I know he turns on his porn, and I can still have those moments separately, but it's less now. I don't know. It's kind of a good place to be right now for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know what? Because porn in and of itself doesn't, for me personally, and everybody gets to make the rules for their own relationship.
Does it? Doesn't.
It does not equate to cheating, quote unquote, or any type of infidelity. I don't know. I feel like some people can hold on to that and feel like it is something that is contradictory to a monogamous relationship, but I don't feel like that way at all. And I would like to pick the brains of those people who feel like that is an issue for them in their relationship.
Oh yeah, I would think not. I hope not.
I mean, not everybody's the same, so somebody might think.
Also, I can jerk off to thoughts of people that have been in my past that were really hot to me too. So sometimes I'm using real life past experiences that were hot for me. And
I do video chat too. And some people might think that video chat is infidelity, but I don't see it like that at all.
I don't either. Dude's nude.
Let's go on.
And I like that too. And yeah, I don't think that is either. And I think that's really hot. I mean, I'll ask my boyfriend later tonight.
I mean, let me know what he says.
I will. I don't think it will because he's a lot more less jealous than probably I would be.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Although the more I go into this, I'm much more calm lately with him.
And you know what? I was going to say earlier, that is what you want in a relationship. You want somebody that's going to calm your nervous system. I read that somewhere, and that has been my point of reference for evaluating whether or not a relationship is for me. Because you want somebody that is going to actually make sure that you are not agitated or aggravated or your nervous system is heightened by them. So I think that more people should look at it like that, because you want somebody that's going to actually make you feel at ease and at peace.
Oh my God, such a great conversation. I always love holding down the fort with you. Yes. I hope everyone had a fabulous Labor Day, and let's set some goals. Let us know what your goals are sexually or in life. We want to hear from you. We'll read a couple of them. We can do it anonymously, of course. We're live on Wednesday, and we've got Eleni Cortez, who's going to be talking about the Azores on Wednesday night. And don't fret if you can't join us, because it will be repackaged all neatly up for you wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us and get our weekly newsletter. Go to TAGSPodcast.com and click on the newsletter where you get a preview of everything. And if you want to support Tags, the show you've come to know and love, consider grabbing a tier where you get extra special sexy perks like commercial free or you can get things like an extra episode every month, and there's so much more. Go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. You can also just join for free, where you can just get behind the scenes coverage that you won't get on any of our social media coverage. Were you going to say something?
No, I feel like I've forgotten a bunch of stuff, but I'm good. We're good. Cut this part out.
Okay. You can always follow my co-host Kodi. We said he's a life coach at KMD Coaching. Follow his personal account at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V. Or go to my Twitter account, where I have new material of my Just for Fans and OnlyFans, a preview at TAGSPodcast. And there's links to those new content all week, every week. And in the meantime, Kodi, continue having hot gay sex.